I was hoping to make an extended video about episode 13 as a whole, but it was a 24-minute ramble filled with audio issues, and since these videos keep getting claimed, I could only use screenshots. I may still try it again in the future, but for now I wanted to make some bite-sized videos about specific scenes, starting with this one. The scene at the docks really shows just how far Matsumoto and Vivy have come in their relationship, as mentioned in a tweet by Nagatsuki Tape, as well as how much they've grown as people. Early on, Vivy was unable to emote outside of specific programs she ran while acting as a member of Nearland staff, which I'll probably make a video about as its own topic. Meanwhile, Matsumoto completely denied the existence of any sort of soft emotions in AI throughout their journey, such as mocking Grace's marriage and the idea of Ophelia feeling love, or even that Vivy was anything but a business associate when asked by Diva in episode 8. The scene starts with Vivy promising she won't act out on her own, which is something Matsumoto has complained about her doing in the past, including during his outburst in episode 12, which, of course, the current Matsumoto doesn't remember. So we already see Vivy starting to take his feelings into account. Matsumoto continues to joke around about going up against a super AI and how Vivy prodded Toark into helping them, then admits he's sad he never got to hear Vivy perform, since, of course, she retired right after her return in episode 10. Considering Diva explicitly told him to listen to her song, this is a subtle acknowledgement that he sees the two as separate people, whereas everyone else just calls her Diva. It's also a nice contrast against her conversation with Navi later too, who was her first friend and yet rejects her transformation over the years. Both of them, as in both Vivy and Matsumoto, aren't quite sure what to say about that, and Matsumoto asks if she's able to sing, like the fact that she was unable to sing in episode 10 despite writing a song, and even in episode 12 since he has that data with him now. But Vivy channels Diva here, who was always the bolder of the two, when she psychs her up to do so. She even snaps her fingers and name drops Diva and says she wants to sing like her as well. But Matsumoto snaps her out of it and says he wants to hear Vivy singing, again making him the only one to acknowledge that the two are different people, that Vivy has transcended beyond just being a singer, and bringing their bond to the surface. Vivy smiles her brightest smile yet, and this really is the first time she isn't smiling just to greet someone at that. And she goes to squeeze him as a callback to episode 3, even telling her first joke, which is another far cry from her literal-mindedness in episode 2 when Matsumoto told her to lose weight. Both of these are very Diva-esque, but I think it's nice that this is the first time she's completely let her guard down. Again, she's softened up bit by bit over the past 100 years, but this feels like the falling of her final barrier and allowing herself to be truly open towards someone. Matsumoto is even tender as a result, as well, and Vivy touches foreheads with him for the first time. This may actually be based on the Hawaiian act of hongi, again, apologies for the pronunciations, which is a way of sharing emotions and a way of considering someone an equal, but we'll get to that in another video as well. Keep in mind what I said about Matsumoto being in denial about AIs having feelings earlier. With that, and the fact that he keeps to himself so much that he goes to sleep for years at a time to avoid interacting with others, or with the timeline, except to show up once a year to check on Vivy, for the sake of his promise with Diva in episode 10. This is definitely the first time someone has honoured him in his way, and he's clearly floored by this, and just how quiet he becomes really speaks to this. On top of his surprise with Vivy telling a joke earlier, the pair part ways, having finally become friends for the first time, and we hear the siren and the archive's announcement of the impending bombing, which shows that Osamu dying, thinking that he'd failed to even send Matsumoto in the first place no less, wasn't in vain. After all, it's only after hearing the archive's warning in the previous timeline that Team Vivy and Toark even came up with their plan in the first place. This time they'd already mobilized. But all of this is bittersweet, knowing that this is the last time Vivy and Matsumoto will ever see each other again. And as we learn later, Vivy already knows she's going to die. And Matsumoto would certainly know it too, even without Vivy telling him. In other words, both of them know that Vivy won't be coming back. That just makes the scene all the more painful, but may also explain why the pair are quick to drop their guards around each other at the very end, which, though bitter and sad, also makes this moment all the sweeter. So, what did you think of this short breakdown? Is there anything else I could have added to this scene? Please let me know in the comments what scene you'd like me to tackle next, and also please consider subscribing for more of these for both Vivy analyses and for other series. Thank you all for watching, and as always, have a great day.